Happy Friday, week 6, day 6, 6 to 6. We are continuing our journey through Luke, and today we are in chapter 12, and we're going verse 13 to verse 21. This section, it's deemed the parable of the rich fool, and we get this really cool analogy from Jesus about our hearts and really this issue of greed and possessions on this earth. So let's get into it. Grab that Bible, grab that journal, take some time to clear your head, pray to God that he would speak to you through this time and through this reading. And here we go in verse 13. Verse 13, someone in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." Jesus replied, "Man, who appointed me a judge or an arbiter between you?" Jesus is like, "Why are you asking me to do that? I'm not a judge." Then he said to them, "Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." So right there, what's he saying? He's telling us life's not about what you have here and now. And he told them this parable. The ground of a certain rich man yielded an abundant harvest. He thought to himself, "What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops." Then he said, "This is what I'll do. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I will store my surplus grain. And I'll say to myself, you have plenty of grain, laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry." But God said to him, "You fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich towards God." Is Jesus here saying we can't have a retirement plan? It's a little interesting of a passage. No. What he's saying is, look at this passage. Look at all the times this man mentions I, myself, I. This is such a self-focused way to live life. This guy had an abundance of grain. He had a good year. And after this good year, all he thinks is, man, I gotta find a way to store all this so that I can live the rest of my life free of worries. I'm not gonna help others with what God has given me. God has blessed me with a great harvest. I'm gonna maybe help out some people. I'll keep some of it, but I'm willing to help anyone who needs.
All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
But rather, this man's mindset is, I'm rich, I'm good now, I'm gonna live the rest of my life easy, eating and drinking whatever I want, being merry. And so really he's blessing himself with the things God has gifted him. And God says, how is that gonna go for you? Like, you don't even know if you're gonna be alive tomorrow. Like, you could die tomorrow, and then what will all this stuff be? If your life is lived just for the things here and now, what a waste, because one day you're gonna die and it's just gonna be passed on to the next guy. Isn't life about so much more than that? Isn't it about things that are eternal? The book of Ecclesiastes is all about this. It tells us the theme of the book, meaningless, everything is meaningless. And what he's really saying is, if God isn't a part of life, it's all meaningless, because everything in this world will one day fade, it will one day disappoint, it will one day let you down. God is the one thing that's eternal. God's the one thing that gives you purpose here and now. Jesus, this gospel, this awesome message, gives us a purpose in life here and now, and hope in death, a hope in the life to come. And that's the only thing in the world that gives you that. It's relationship with God. It's the one thing that'll bridge this life to the next. And so really what Jesus is teaching, he's like, look at your heart, examine your heart. Are you wanting things only to store up and only to build your greed and the things you have in this life here and now? Or when God blesses you with stuff, are you eager to help others with what God has given you? Is that where your heart's at? Is it like, I wish I had more so that I could help more? Or is it, I wish I had more so that I would be great, so that I would be happy, so that I would be rich? So it's a really good passage about examining your heart. And so a great reflection question for all of us when we read this verse is looking at that last verse 21. This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves but is not rich towards God. So ask yourself this. With the things God has given you in this life, whether it's your time, your possessions, your talent, your money, your toys, whatever it might be, the things God has given you, are you using that stuff only for yourself, or are you thinking of how can I give the things God has given me? How can I give back to others the things God has given me? How can I use it to bring God glory? And your prayer point for today is this: God, would you help me use the talents and the things you've given me to help others, to point others towards you? Would you help me do that, God? Would you help me use my gifts for your glory? That's your daily Devo for today. Be sure to check in tomorrow. Leave me a comment or a question if you have one. I would love to hear from you and love to just connect with you if I could. If you live in the San Clemente area, I would love to get a coffee anytime on me. So just reach out. Let's do it. See you tomorrow. Have a good day.